emotions facing your former team for the first time?
Uh, not necessarily. It's been a couple years now. I think it probably would have been more emotional had it been sooner.
Amari, it's the first time we've also got to talk to you since there were some reports that your name was put out in trade rumors regarding Brandon Ayuk. I was curious just what kind of emotions you had. Did you talk to the organization about that and just how you feel about that?
No, I didn't. At the end of the day, it's neither here nor there. So I'm just focused on playing my best football week one.
But you sent out I think it was on Instagram, say I wouldn't mind at all, which makes it sound like you're not super happy to be here.
Hey, I mean, yeah, the media is all about sensationalism, so I'll let y'all have fun with whatever y'all thought that might have meant. So.
Has there been any further negotiation about the contract beyond this year with the Browns?
I haven't really been in contact, with my agent about any negotiations. So, no. I understand that, at the end of the day, you just got to play good football. That's all that matters.
Do you feel any excitement about this opener, especially with all the high hopes you guys have this season?
Yeah, I mean, as a football player, as a guy who's been playing football, my whole life, it's always very, very exciting, that first game of the season, because, at this point you hadn't played real football in, almost half a year. So, yeah, very excited.
Did this feel like a trying off season for you at all? Or you had the contract issued mini camp and then it gets resolved right before training camp, and then those trade rumors, was it tough emotionally for you?
No, I'm not a very emotional person, so no.
Amari, have you, maybe more so than most players in the NFL, learned over the years that it really truly is a business and that you just have to kind of take it as it comes? You've already been traded 2 times.
Mm-hmm.
You've had to learn to roll with the punches. So have you had to learn that over the years that you just can't take things?
I don't think I ever really had to learn that, you know what I mean? Because I don't think it's something to be taken personal. At the end of the day, you might be traded away from one team. It's all about how you perceive things. Life is about perception. Because in regards to trades, yeah, you're traded away from one team, but you're being accepted into another team. So I just kind of just look at it as that's how the business is arranged. There was a time when, there was no free agency, although I've never been a free agent, but I'm just saying that to make a point, where, players weren't getting traded as much. So it's just a part of the business now.
And it probably feels good to feel wanted, right? I mean, at several points in your career, somebody else has gone out to get you and paid big money and done all those things. So is that, it's a good
Honestly, it's not about, feeling wanted. It's just from my perspective, because I do understand, if you think about it like this, you can be wanted, but if you don't play well, then you're not gonna any longer be wanted. So at the end of the day, you just got to keep the main thing, and the main thing is, being available for the team and playing up to the standard.
We haven't seen this new look offense in action in the live game yet. You know what it's going to look like. What are your feelings and expectations?
Yeah, I don't have a crystal ball in front of me, but the expectations is obviously to go out there and execute the plays that's being called, for us to play our brand of football, for us to be extremely locked in, and put our best foot forward.
What do you think of this matchup with Dallas and this offense going against that defense? Obviously, Michael Parsons is the centerpiece, but what do you think of that secondary too?
They've had a really good defense for a couple of years now, so it's going to definitely be a challenge. We look forward to the challenge. We feel like we have all the pieces in place to have a dynamic offense. Like I said before, it's nothing special going up against any particular team, because every team has pieces and centerpieces and dynamic players. So you just got to go out there, and like I said before, you got to go out there and put your best foot forward and try to get the win.
How did you feel about CD Lamb's blockbuster extension, the way that these receiver contracts continue to go?
Mm-hmm.
What did you make of that?
I'm proud of him. I played with CD for a couple years. Really humble kid, man. Really humble kid. Eager to learn. Just wants to be the best. Has gotten better every single year. Very, very dynamic player. So he is definitely deserved. So yeah, I'm proud of him. And just as far as the actual deal, it's just how the market is. You know what I mean? Like, if it's your time to get paid, the market is going to keep going up. So I'm proud of him.
Amari Diggs, the last year you two played together, he doesn't let in interceptions. Just what challenge does he pose as a corner in that matchup?
Yeah, man. Did play with Diggs for 2 years. We went to the same school. Have a good relationship. He's a great player. You know what I mean? Very, very dynamic player. Has great ball skills. Has great IQ for the position. Excited for the challenge. This is why I play the game. This is what I love most about the game: to go up against the best and to challenge yourself. This is why I fell in love with the game of football. So it's going to be a great matchup for sure.
The offense should be considered a work in progress, or should you be expected to execute and play number one first game of the year?
Yeah, I mean, the expectation is always be the best that you can be. So, of course, we're looking to go out there and do our thing and ball. We try to score points every drive. That's just the standard. Yeah.
Can you put into words how good you think this football team can possibly be this year? Again, I know you don't have a crystal ball, but does it feel like there's something special going on here?
Yeah, of course. Listen, at the end of the day, every team feels the same way before the season kicks off. And every team feels like they're going to be the one standing at the end of the season. It's up to us to be that team, and all that matters is how we play when we play. Any given Sunday, as they say.
On the hand off the field, how did you see Deshaun handle that return recovery from the shoulder?
He's been handling it well. I haven't even noticed anything different in the way he's been throwing the ball. It's almost like he hadn't heard it at all. So it's not something that I've been thinking about.
Amari, the fact that you guys are the 425 national game in week 1, which is something the Browns haven't been featured in week 1 like this in a very, very long time. Does that add a little extra excitement to this opener? The fact that much of the country's eyes are going to be on you guys and wanting maybe to show them just what kind of Browns team you have.
Yeah, of course. I mean, at the end of the day, when you grew up as a kid watching football, these are the games that you tend to watch. The games that are prime time, the games that everybody's watching. So of course, these are the games that get the most attention. So I'd be lying if I said otherwise.
What makes Dak such a good quarterback? I mean, you having been on the receiving end, of his throws, what separates him? What makes him different?
One of the things you will notice about being around Dak is he's a great leader, natural leader. That's one of his best traits. Is one of the traits that everybody notices about him right off of the rip. And his tenacity, his will to win. You could be down like 21 points in the fourth quarter with 2 minutes left, and Dak, you look at his eyes, you hear the tone of his voice. He still thinks that there's a chance to win, which it is. But that's what I like most about him. As far as how he plays, he's another guy who's gotten better every year. Throws a beautiful ball. That's one of the things I noticed and I loved about him when I first started playing with him. He's gotten better IQ-wise at the position as far as getting the ball out quicker and sooner, understanding the position. So he's been progressing every single year, and so, yeah.
Amari, as you mentioned, you've never been a free agent before. Is there something to be said about the notion of possibly hitting free agency when these receivers?
It's nothing to be said. Nothing to be said because I'm just trying to be where my feet are. I'm not even thinking about the future when there's so much at stake now.
Was it different playing for the Cowboys, America's team?
Say that again?
Was it different playing for the Cowboys?
Yeah, I mean, I played for 3 teams. Every team I've played for has been different from, just the location, the environment, the feel, the aura. So, yeah.
I mean, the Cowboys in themselves, the fact that it feels like they're kind of a bigger brand than anybody else. Did you get that when you were playing with them? Get that sense?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you do. You do kind of get that sense. it is different playing for the Cowboys. Just most of the games are prime time. They get the most media attention, things of that sort. Yeah.
Amari, obviously going into when you get in the middle of the season, you have more like tape and things to go off of, tendencies, things that you guys are looking at to exploit. Week one, you don't have that, and especially with a team like the Cowboys got a new defensive coordinator, all that. How much of a week one game is you guys able to kind of prepare some things and have some things sort of set? And how much of it is you're really just going in and feeling out what they're doing in game in real time?
Yeah, it's always a little bit of both. Try to take the information that you actually can gather and go from there. It don't really take a whole day to recognize the sunshine, as they would say. So, the information that you have in front of you, that's what you go off of. But, there's always going to be in-game adjustments as well. So, a little bit of both.
Thank you.
Yeah, we got to start with your golf game. I heard there's a big shot was made over the weekend.
Yeah, well, over the summertime. It was a few months ago. I was playing at Sweetbriar in Avon, the local legacy course, and me, Wyatt, and Luke Whippler, and then one of the old golf pros there, Mike Franco, we were playing, and we were on the par 5 on the back, and I had an albatross, which was, I never had an eagle in my life. Like, I'm not like 12 handicap, normal, but I hit a 7-iron into the green, and it looked like it disappeared, and I looked at Luke, and I was like, I think that went in. And he's like, it might have gone over the back. And I was like, thanks, dude. So we went, and I checked over the back first, and I walked up, and ball was in the hole. And the craziest part, me and my wife were talking about the night before, and I was telling her, like, it's an impossible thing. Like, she's like, have you ever had one? I was like, no, and now I do.
That's a 2 on a par 5, so what was your score for the round?
83. I went like double, triple the next 2 holes in excitement. Yeah.
So have you ever had a hole in one?
No, I haven't.
That's rare.
Yeah, that's what I told my wife. I was like, I'll probably never do this again, So
how long did you drive?
It was like 275 or 280, I think. It kind of cut the corner. Like, that one kind of dog's legs left. Went right by that big oak tree. And then it was like 178 or 180 in.
So Joel, hope always springs eternal at this time of year. Everyone's always has big hopes and dreams for the season. But you've been around here for a long, long time. What is your vibe? What is your take on what this Cleveland Browns team is all about as you guys get rolling?
Yeah, I think we're trying to take it, 1 week at a time. The guys have been truly about their business this training camp. If it's getting healthy, if it's learning new plays, if it's getting your body right. It's been real focused. I think the guys around here are focused, and we're excited for the challenge of a new season. But truthfully, we're worried about the Cowboys right now because they're the first matchup.
So we don't know what's going on at left tackle, but you do, and you're not going to tell us. But how do you feel about what's going on at left tackle?
I think we have 3 guys that are either trying to get back or working to get back, practicing. We had 3 guys out there at practice yesterday, which first time we've done that, all season. So 3 guys that are working to try and get out there. I have faith in all of them. All of them have played a lot of football, and we're going to game plan. We know they have great edges. We know that's some of the strength of their team. But we have faith in all those guys, and all those guys have worked hard to either get healthy or to work on their practice. I mean, James is out there every day having going against Myles Garrett in practice. I think he's in that category of good rushers, so he gets to go against him. Jack's played some left tackle in his past life, and obviously Jed's been there for the last 4 years. So I think we have capable guys, and guys, whoever ends up being the guy this week, I think he'll be ready to go.
I know you
So
said
you're
you
saying
have
it's not
faith
going to
in
be
you.
you?
All those guys can do the job, but just how challenging has it been going into week 1 and you're trying to just figure out what the O-line's going to look like there on the edges?
Yeah, I think you'd obviously love to have 5 guys and roll out 5 guys, but we understood that going into the year. Jack and Jed are coming off injuries and trying to get healthy, so it was going to be part of it. You wish for other things, but that's what we had to deal with, and I think we've been focused on it, and we've gotten the work in.
So it's safe to say now that it's not going to be you at left tackle.
Yeah, I don't think so. That would surprise me as well. But hey, you never know.
Is it more likely than not that 2 of those 3 guys you're talking about will see action?
I don't know. I truly don't know that. We'll see what we do Sunday.
Joel, I'm not trying to say that this will will be your last season, but knowing that you've obviously been playing, a decade now, you never know when it's going to come to an end, what your decision's going to look like, what things will be, come January. Do you relish, especially like this time of year, do you kind of like have different emotions about going into another year and knowing, just not knowing what's in store, but knowing you're sort of embracing that because you're this late in your career?
Yeah, every year's a blessing. I mean, I got 10 years of my career. I'm going to year 11 now, and it's special. Every time you get a start a new year, it's special. I feel good right now. It's an honor to open the season at home, and we get a huge test with the Cowboys. So it's going to be a fun environment, but I truly cherish every year, every time I can step on the field with this team. So it's exciting, but I always got those first game, anxiousness no matter what. It could be my 150th start or however many it is now, and you still have those a little bit of anxiety going into it because it's the first one. But no, I'm excited for this year, and I'm excited to see how it goes.
I can't remember the last time.
Last year, were you dealing with the knee at this point last year?
It had started up. Yeah, I feel a lot better. Last year it had started up early in the season, and I was trying to figure out what the best plan of action was at that point.
Joel, I can't remember the last time the Cleveland Browns were featured nationally in Week 1. Just, what does that add a little bit extra to this? The fact that, a nationwide audience is going to be watching you guys, and you have an opportunity to show them, what type of team you have.
Once you start playing, it's hard to but I did see a tweet yesterday. I'm like, oh, the map of the game or whatever, and it was the whole thing was Cleveland versus Dallas pretty much, and I was like, all right, so it's basically a national game, but it's exciting, man. We know the Cowboys are a big brand. We know the Browns are a big brand, and we don't play them very often, so I think it's an exciting matchup, and we're pumped for it. I mean, the guys have worked so hard to be ready for this Week 1, and hopefully we can go out there and perform like it.
What about Micah Parsons? How good is Micah? What makes him so tough to defend? And you see something too?
Yeah, he's kind of like, the queen of the chessboard out there. He can move around. He can make any move he wants. He'll find matchups that he likes. He's not just playing outside. He lines up inside, lines up off the ball. But, I mean, it's his athleticism and explosiveness. Even when he gets in bad positions, he finds a way to, still stay on his feet where most guys are falling down. He has power, too. He's just a dynamic player, and he seems to, make the big play for him. We were looking at third down stuff today, and it's his stats on third down are pretty outrageous as well. So he's a guy we have a lot of respect for, and he's an impressive player.
Joe, how nice is it not to have to talk about an opening day losing streak? And do you feel like you even have some momentum after winning the last 2 years?
Yeah, it's huge. That was a question, right? Before the last 2 years, you guys are gonna win the first one. Can you win the first one? But we've shown we can. We've shown we can start a season hot, and it's hard because it's the first game of the season, but it also is one game, out of a 17-game season. So we're focused on that. But no, we're like I said, we're excited to get out there.
So I'm sure I don't know if you'd admit it, but I'm sure early in your career there were years where you'd look around and say, we're probably not going to win the Super Bowl this year. When you look around at the talent on this team, how kind of exciting is it to think about what's in this room and what's possible?
Yeah, we have goals. It's exciting, but it's hard to look too far ahead. The season's so long, you truly have to take it one game at a time, or else you get too far, over your skis. So for us, it's hey, we're focused on Week 1, and we'll see where we're at after that. But you gotta, make the playoffs before you can think about that kind of thing. So right now, that's what I'm focused on. Obviously, I like our team. I like the guys in this locker room, but we're focused on that.
Do you know Tom Brady at all?
No.
Okay. Does it add something that he's going to be in the booth, and then is it also kind of weird that I think he's not allowed to watch practice or talk to you guys because he's going to own the Raiders?
Yeah, I don't know how any of that is working, but it's his first game, first national game, so that's exciting. Honestly, for us, we're just playing. I don't really get to see the telecast at all, so it's different. I'm sure he'll do a great job. He's done great jobs in pretty much everything else he's done, but it's cool. It's cool.
You go back and watch it all and hear what he says about it?
No, I don't have time for that. We might catch something on the Friday tape that Kevin plays. He'll play smart plays, dumb plays of the week. So hopefully we're on the smart plays of the week.
Is that with every team, not just you guys?
Yeah, it's just around the league, plays that happened or important things. We go over it on Fridays. Sweet.
Thanks,
Thanks, guys.